reorganizational meeting for the Stanley County Commissioners. Special evening this evening. The board will be swearing in new members and some existing members that terms expired that were re-elected. They'll be getting sworn in as well, and so that'll actually be the first order of business, is actually to seat the board and do the swearing in. Our honorable DA is here this evening to do the swearing in ceremony for each of the commissioners. We're just going to go down in order, alphabetical order, I guess, for the individual swearing in. And so the first one will be Mr. Mike Barber.
Good evening, Mr. Barber.
Morning. Afternoon.
We've got two Bibles here. We've got the Commissioner's Bible, and then we've got Mr. Lawhorn's Bible. This is the Banker's Bible. The terms might be some foreclosed divisions, whichever you feel comfortable with. Mr. Lawhorn's Bible.
Yes.
You'll step right out here with me. Put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right. Repeat after me. I, Paul Michael Barbie,
I, Paul Michael Barbie,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
as County Commissioner.
as County Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Paul Michael Barbie,
I, Paul Michael Barbie,
do further swear
do further swear
that I will well and truly execute
to well and truly execute
the duties of this office
the duties of this office,
of County Commissioner
County Commissioner,
according to the best of my skill
according to the best of my skills
and ability,
and ability,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is blue pen. Is that what you want?
That'll be fine.
Or black?
Blue's fine.
Blue pen. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Next, Miss Patricia M. Crow. Anybody who wants to join her? Brought your own? All right. You'll put your left hand and raise your right. I, Patricia M. Crump,
I, Patricia M. Crump,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my
as
office
County Commissioner.
as County Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Patricia M. Crump,
I, Patricia M. Crump,
do further swear
do further swear
that I will well and truly
that I will well and truly
execute the duties of the office
execute the duties of the
of
office
County Commissioner
of County Commissioner
according to the best of my skill and ability,
according to the best of my skill and ability,
according to law, so help me God.
according to law, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Hadley. Anybody wants to join Mr. Hadley? Repeat, if you put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right. I, Darrell Trent Hadley,
I, Darrell Trent Hatt,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office as County Commissioner.
the duties of the office of County Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Darrell Trent Hadley,
I, Darrell Trent Hatt,
do further swear
do further swear
that I will well and truly
that I will well and truly
execute the duties of the office of County Commissioner
execute the duties of County Commissioner
according to the best of my skill and ability,
according to the best of my skill and ability,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. This is Mr. King. I should have this memorized here in a couple more minutes. All right. Brandon, left hand on the right, you ahead of me. I, Brandon Lee King,
I, Brandon Lee King,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as County Commissioner.
as County Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Brandon Lee King,
I, Brandon Lee King,
do further swear
do further swear
that I will well and truly execute
that I will well and truly execute
the duties of the office of County Commissioner
the duties of the office of County Commissioner
according to the best of my skill and ability,
according to the best of my skill and ability,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And last, but absolutely not least, Mr. Lawhorn.
Boss up here.
Get the boss, the big Bible there. You've done this before. Left hand on the Bible, raise your right. There you go. As we
Yes,
say in
thank
court-
you.
As we say in the courthouse, your other left. All right. I, Willie D. Lawhorn Jr.,
I, Willie D. Lawhorn Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States
that I'll support and maintain the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as County Commissioner.
as County Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Willie D. Lawhorn Jr.,
I, Willie D. Lawhorn Jr.,
do further swear
do further swear
that I will well and truly execute
that I will well and truly execute
the duties of the office of County
the
Commissioner
duties of the office of County Commissioner
according to the best of my skill and ability,
according to the best of my skill and ability,
according to law.
according to law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, your new Board of Commissioners. I will turn it over. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. And Bill says I can't tell any stories, but I feel real good about the board we've got here. I know the rest of you do as well.
Thank you, Mr. Caldwell. Hey, Peter, Sandy, are you available?
I'm available.
Yeah, all right, getting ready to start. All right, the next order of business is for the board to do its reorganizational meeting and select a chairman, vice chairman, approval of bonds. They'll do their committee assignments as well as the meeting schedule and the holiday schedule. And that will conclude their reorganizational meeting and they'll start their regular meeting. So the first order of business, now that everyone has been sworn in and Commissioner Shudo is actually joining remotely, will be for the board to select its chairman. And so at this point in time, I will open up the floor for nominations for chairman.
Mr. County Manager, I would like to nominate Scott Eford as our chairman.
A nomination for Mr. Scott Eford as chairman. Any other nominations? Motion for nominations to be closed. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Shudo. At this point in time, is there any discussion or debate? Hearing none. All in favor of Commissioner Eford being chairman, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, congratulations, Scott, chairman. Get out of your way.
Thank you, County Manager. I certainly appreciate it, Board, and I will definitely do the best job that I can. At this time, in pursuant to General Statute 153A-39, I will open up the floor for nominations for Vice Chair.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Commissioner.
I would like to nominate Commissioner Mike Barbie for vice chair.
All right, have Commissioner Barbie. Anyone else?
I move we close nominations.
All right, we have a motion to close nominations. Do I have a second? Second. Commissioner King. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Barbie. At this time, we need to do a approval of the bonds. You should have a copy of the bond type. The tax administrator, Clinton Swearingen, is $100,000. It expires October 28th of 2023. Finance Officer Toby Henson is $1 million. Expires June 30th, 2023. And the Register of Deeds, Suzanne Louder, $50,000. Expires December 1st, 2023. I entertain a motion that we accept. All right, I got a motion by Commissioner Barbie, seconded by Commissioner Shudo. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. All right, at this time, we will open up the floor for appointments to the following boards and committees: Economic Development, Health and Human Services, Library Board of Trustees, Airport Authority member and alternate, the Fire District Commissioner, the Senior Service Board, the Rocky River Planning Organization member and alternate, the Stanley Water and Sewer Authority with an alternate, Central Carolina Council of Governments with an alternate, Partners in Health Board, and Juvenile Crime Prevention Council.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Commissioner Law.
I'd like to present the board's that you just named with commissioners to serve on certain committees. First being Economic Development Commission. There's 2 commissioners for the, I'm going to shorten the version, EDC Board. That being Bill Lawhon and Vice Chairman Mike Barbie. The Health and Human Service Board's 2 commissioners, Commissioner Peter Asciutto and Commissioner Patty Crump. The member of the Library Board of Trustees, Commissioner Brandon King. Member of the Airport Authority, there's 2 board members. One is primary, Bill Lawhon. Alternate is Trent Hatley. The chairman of the Fire District Commission is Brandon King. The member of Senior Services Board is Vice Chairman Mike Barbie. The member of the Rural Planning Organization, RPO, Commissioner Peter Asciutto. The alternate Rural Planning Organization is Commissioner Brandon King. The member of the Stanley Water and Sewer Authority is Vice Chairman Mike Barbie. The alternate for the Stanley Water and Sewer Authority is Commissioner Trent Hatley. The member of Centralina Council of Governments is Commissioner Patty Crump. The alternate to Centralina Council of Government is Scott Eford. The Partners Mental Health Board is Chairman Scott Eford. And the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council is Commissioner Trent Hatley. I put that in the form of a motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Lawhon. Do I have a second? I'll second that. Second, Commissioner Barbie. Any discussion?
Yes, I would like to address that. I'm in agreement with all of them except for the Health and Human Services Board appointments. I would like to be on the board. Peter Asciutto is also another nominee. And I would ask that we remove the Health and Human Services Board from the slate and vote on that separately. And if we could do that, I would like to nominate Trent Hatley to be on that board in place of Peter Asciutto. And I have a reason, good reasons for this. Over the past couple of years during this pandemic, I know that Mr. Asciutto has had very strong beliefs and has supported the lockdowns and the mandated masking and the quarantines, and the has even been an ambassador with Atrium for the vaccination rollout. And so I do not believe that is in alignment with the people of Stanley County. And that was evidenced by over 18,000 votes the other conservative commissioners received. And so I would ask that we seriously consider putting Trent on that board instead of Peter Asciutto. And of course, in order to be able to do that, we would have to have 4 noes on this motion, and I would be willing to make the next motion to pull the Health and Human Services Board out as a separate item.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Crump. Any more discussion?
Chairman, I would like to just echo what Commissioner Crump has said. I think that board needs a little more conservatism, and I would like to see that motion take place.
Thank you, Commissioner King. Any more discussion?
I just got to say, I remember Commissioner Crump was at the meeting a few weeks ago talking about how you need to do research on people and stuff like that. Evidently, she never checked on what I've done for proper health and for the citizens of Stanley County, including not showing up tonight because I'm under the weather. And one thing you don't want to do is be around people when you're ill. Yes, I was so if my sin is being the vaccine ambassador or Atrium Health, then so be it, But anyway, I don't call for questions.
All right, any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the slate as presented, say aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Motion passes 5-2. Next item is the established meeting dates for 2023. The board will meet the first and third Monday of each month except for May, June, July, August, and September, and December. And the times that will follow will be 6 o'clock. The proposed meeting schedule is in front of you. There's a couple things that the rescheduled from the first and the third is due to the New Year's holiday and Martin Luther King holiday, which is in January, and then rescheduled prior to Labor Day holiday, and we'll meet on Monday the 4th. Do I have a motion to accept this schedule?
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
All right, I have a motion to accept Commissioner Shuto. Do I have a second? Second, Commissioner Barbie. Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes 7-0. And also, you'll see the established the county holiday schedule for 2023 for all county employees. New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Good Friday, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving. You got 2 days there, and then Christmas, you have 2 days there, 25th and the 26th. I'd entertain a motion to accept this as presented.
So move.
Commissioner Lawhon, second. Commissioner Keeney. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. One announcement I have, during the regular meeting of the board, the county commissioners, in order to act in their capacity as the Board of Governors for the Greater Baton Water and Sewer District or for the Piney Point Water District, may, at the discretion, recess a commissioners' regular meeting and reconvene at the Board of Governors or either of the above two entities in order to conduct business matters related to the entities. That's just for information only. All right, bear with me 1 second. All right, at this time, welcome board. And if you will join me, I'll have the invocation and the pledge. I love this time of year. Christmas, it's a good way as Christians to celebrate the birth. And I'd like to read some of my favorite Bible verses from 2nd chapter of Luke, starting with verse 11. It says, "For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And it shall be a sign unto you, ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angels a multitude of heavenly hosts, praising God and saying," this is my favorite, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men." Let us pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we humbly come to you tonight, just thanking you once again for the many blessings. Lord, as we enter the holiday season, we definitely know why we celebrate this season and why the reason for this season is your Son, Jesus, who was brought to this earth, suffered and died for our salvation. Lord, we pray for those who have lost loved ones during this time. Lord, just comfort them, be with them. Lord, we pray especially for our military and their families that are away from home, Lord, during the holidays, that you'll just be with them. Lord, and we thank you so much for what they do with us and to protect us. Lord, we pray for our police, our fire, our EMS that protect and serve us daily. Lord, I pray for the citizens of Stanley County. Lord, I pray that for this board, you'll give us strength and wisdom to conduct the business of Stanley County. These things I ask in your precious name that we pray. Amen. If y'all would stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everyone should have a copy of the agenda. Any adjustments to that agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion the agenda be approved as printed.
I have a motion. I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I'll give you just a second for those that are leaving. All right, next item on the agenda is public comment. I have one person signed up, Mr. Levi Green. Welcome, Mr. Green. If you don't mind, keep your comments to 3 minutes, please.
I'll do my best.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name's Levi Green. I live on Tite Road in Stanfield. Mr. Barbie, Mr. Lawhon, congratulations on winning your reelection. Mrs. Crump, Mr. King, Mr. Hatley, congratulations on your first terms. I have faith all of you will execute the responsibilities of your position with integrity, humility, and discernment. I want to discuss some dangers regarding Rennie Ford Road in Stanfield. For those of you not familiar with Rennie Ford Road, it connects to Highway 2427 directly in front of Food Line and Locust and runs south to Rocky River, where its name changes to Sykes Mill Road, and it ultimately terminates on Highway 601 northwest of the Monroe city limits. Rennie Ford and Sykes Mill are predominantly residential and farming use once you're outside of the Locust city limits. Over the last few years, within a mile of the intersection of River Road and Rennie Ford, dozens of homes have been approved and built, with still dozens more on the way. A new West Stanley Fire Department facility will also be built in that same location. Back in the spring, my family and I narrowly escaped an accident when someone pulled out of River Road onto Rennie Ford as we were approaching the intersection. Due to traffic volumes, drivers regularly take such risks at this intersection, especially during peak morning and afternoon traffic. Several months ago, near the intersection of Polk Ford Road and Rennie Ford, a large, roughly 15-acre lot was cleared behind the Methodist Church. Then hundreds of loads of supplies and equipment were delivered to this staging lot. No exaggeration, I've counted 24 full-size cat excavators, dozens of semis, hundreds of large diameter pipes, and countless of other pieces of equipment. The lot is a staging area for a gas pipeline headed towards Union County. The project is massive and it will take a long time to complete. The safety of the folks who travel Rennie Ford every day is at risk. In the past 3 years, traffic volume seems to have tripled. It's impossible for a semi-truck pulling a lowboy trailer to turn right off of Polk Ford Road, heading south on Rennie Ford without crossing the line into oncoming traffic. To make matters worse, when traveling north on Rennie Ford towards Locust, the Polk Ford intersection is blind as it's located just past the crest of a hill. The danger of this intersection has been recognized by the pipeline company and local police. Immediately after a near miss a few weeks ago, large illuminated traffic signs were placed on either side of the intersection warning of trucks entering the highway. Additionally, every morning, 2 patrol officers are stationed in their cars on either side. Unfortunately, I feel these efforts are not enough, and it's only a matter of time before a serious and possibly fatal accident occurs. In the short term, I ask the commissioners to coordinate with law enforcement to direct traffic during the pipeline's hours of operations. I believe this is a cost the pipeline management should cover, given the scale of their operation, as well as the risk to their staff and the citizens of this county. In the long term, a traffic study should be completed for this stretch of road, but particularly the River Road intersection, to determine if a roundabout or a signal is required. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I have pictures of these intersections if you would like to see. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Green. I will double check on this, but it's my understanding that DOT is getting ready to put a 4-way stop at that intersection.
At River Road?
At River Road
Okay.
and Rennie Ford. I will double check that,
Yeah.
but I feel pretty sure it is. If you can leave your email with
Yeah.
Andy, I will check on that and I'll shoot you an email tomorrow. I'll
Right.
check with NCDOT. That's my
Wonderful.
understanding. At one of those meeting, RPO or something,
Perfect.
that was my understanding.
Yeah, the pipeline is the most immediate concern, though. If anyone would like to take a tour, I'll take you around and see what's going on.
I noticed that while I was out there, sir.
All right.
Thank you. That's the only one I have signed up for a public comment, or is there anybody else that would like to speak?
Yep.
All right, thank you very much. Next order of business is public hearing. Yes, sir.
I'd like to say something real quick. I look forward to the next 2 years of my term, working with everybody, and I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to go to bed right now. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, next order of business is public hearing fiscal year 24 capital only, and presenter is Randy Shank, Transportation Services Director. Mr. Shank, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you very much for having me. Congratulations to all the newly elected commissioners and the old timers too. I'll start off by saying that I was up here just a couple of months ago, and that portion that I spoke to just a couple of months ago was the administrative portion of this grant, but they split it up this year. It was kind of unusual this year, and it's all in relation to vehicle, being able to access vehicles. I know you are well aware of supply chain problems that's been plaguing the vehicle industry. And so this is just the capital portion of the Community Transportation Program 24. Just to reiterate what I'm standing here requesting from you is capital funds, approval for capital funds estimated program of $265,900, of that which is a 10% match that'll be granted from the commissioners. That's estimated at $26,590, and that's for 2 replacement vehicles, one of them being a 20-foot LTV and the other being a 22-foot LTV. And about $900 of that is for lettering that's required to be on the side of each vehicle. That is a requirement from the DOT. Basically, I'm just here to hold a public hearing as required by the state, and also just to ask for your approval to move forward with the continuation of this grant.
Thank you, Randy. This time I will open a public hearing. I'm sorry, at this time, we need to take just a couple minutes recess. So we are recessed at this time, and the board, if we would go. Okay. All right. Just stand down just for a second. Thank you. I'm going to ask all the commissioners that were sworn in, Commissioner Barbie, Commissioner Crump, Commissioner Hatley, Commissioner King, and Commissioner Lawhon, if y'all would go down there. We need to get Tyler or Jenny, which one? Tyler, clerk. Yeah, we'll just do it all at one time. We'll be swearing you guys in again.
Let me get my Bible. Let me get my Bible. Any action?
Solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as County Commissioner, so help me God. And do you state your name? Further swear that you will well and truly execute the duties of the office of County Commissioner according to the best of your skills and ability, according to law, so help you God. Okay, good to go. You're sworn in again. My crown and crown.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, apologize for the inconvenience in having to restart this meeting. Needed to make sure that everyone was sworn in properly. And so we will start again and ask for nominations for chairman for 2023. We're starting with December 5th meeting. So the floor is open to nominations.
I nominate Scott Eford.
We have a nomination of Scott Eford. Do I have any other nominations? Motion to close nominations. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner King. All in favor, or before I ask that, is there any discussion or debate? Hearing none. All in favor of Commissioner Eford being chairman?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Second time.
Like Groundhog Day. Yeah, I got a little practice there before I had to do it again. Okay, we essentially have to sort of start over. So at this time, pursuant to General Statute 153A-39, I would open up the floor for nominations for vice chair.
Commissioner Mike Barbie.
All right, Commissioner Barbie. Anyone else?
I move we close nominations.
Got a motion to close nominations. Do I have a second? Second by Brandon King. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations again, Mr. Barbie. Approval of bonds. You have 3 bonds. Tax Administrator, $100,000, expires October 28th of 2023. Finance Officer Toby Henson, $1 million, June 30th of 2023. Register of Deeds, Suzanne Louder, $50,000, expires December 1st of 2023. I entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Barbie, Vice Chair Barbie. Second, Commissioner King. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I will open the floor for appointments to the following boards, and just to save time, I'm not going to read all those boards again.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion that we fill these boards with the following slate. Economic Development, Bill Alhan, Mike Barbie. Health and Human Service Board, Peter Asciutto, Commissioner Patty Crump. Library Board Trustee, Commissioner Brandon King. Member of the Airport Authority, Commissioner Bill Alhan. Alternate Airport Authority, Commissioner Trent Hatley. Chairman of the Fire District Commission, Commissioner Brandon King. Member of Senior Service Board, Commissioner Mike Barbie. Member of Rural Planning Organization, Commissioner Peter Asciutto. Alternate Rural Planning Organization, Commissioner Brandon King. Stanley County Water and Sewer Authority, member, Vice Chairman Mike Barbie. Alternate, Stanley Water and Sewer Authority, Commissioner Trent Hatley. Member, Central Iowa Council of Governments, Commissioner Patty Crump. Alternate, Central Iowa Council of Government, Chairman Scott Eford. Partner Mental Health Board, Chairman Scott Eford. Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, Commissioner Trent Hatley.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Barbie. Any discussion?
Just so that it's not struck from the record, I do want to encourage anyone who wants to vote no on this so that we can put Trent Hatley on that board, or I could nominate him. That would be great. I continue to stand for freedom, freedom of choice, freedom for bodily autonomy.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else?
Call the question.
If no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 5-2. Thank you. Established meeting dates. You should have that in front of you.
Commissioner Chairman Ebert,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna check out.
Okay. Thanks, sir. Meeting dates, you have those in front of you. Any discussion on that? I'd entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner King, second Commissioner Lawhon, Mr. Barbie. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Establish the county holiday schedule. Should have that in front of you also.
Make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that the holiday schedule be approved as presented.
Motion. Second, Commissioner Hatley. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 6-0. Again, the announcements, any regular meeting of the board and the county commissioners in order to act in their capacity as board of governors for the Greater Baden Water and Sewer District or for the Piney Point Water District may, at their discretion, recess a commissioner's regular meeting and reconvene as the board of governors of either of the above two entities in order to conduct business matters related to their entity. That's information only. All right. Welcome. Do we need to go through the prayer and pledge again, or?
Just, no, you just make sure you excuse Peter, or it'll be a yes vote, because he
Okay.
needs to be excused.
All right, Commissioners, we do need a motion to excuse Commissioner Shuto. Motion, Commissioner Hatley. I have a second. Any discussion? Commissioner Shuto is excused from the meeting. Public comment, Mr. Green, we got you, sir, and again, I will check on that, and I'll follow up with you tomorrow.
So it's on the record, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Jeannie.
Chairman Eaford, I would believe if you don't mind approving the agenda again.
Sure, okay. All right. Everyone should have the agenda in front of them. I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Approve as presented. Commissioner
Move.
Long. Second. Commissioner Hatley. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Shank, come on back up, sir. Just deja vu all over again.
Hey, it's all good.
Well, we want to do it right and make sure.
I totally agree.
Appreciate that being brought to our attention.
Okay. Do you want me to represent the numbers again?
We have those numbers in front of us, and unless any commissioner has any questions for Mr. Shank?
I do have a question before you open public meeting. The signage that go on these vehicles, is that company a local company that does?
It is.
Good.
It is, definitely. We've
Good.
used the same company for several years.
Good, but it's local.
Oh, it is, definitely. I try to do anything I can locally
Thank
in all aspects of
Thank
SCUSA.
you.
Any more questions from commissioners for Mr. Shank? All right, at this time, I will open the public hearing. Anyone here to speak either for or against the public fiscal year 2024 capital only for SCUSA?
My name's Jason Phibbs. I just saw the agenda packet today, so I just wanted to provide some food for thought for the commissioners. By the way, congratulations, all the new members and re-elected members. The question I just want to put forward, first of all, I love SCUSA. Our school benefits from SCUSA, so this is nothing against that organization or transportation in general. What I want to challenge the board with, just as whether it applies here specifically or not, I don't know, but I do know that a lot of grant applications come through this board. And we all know that there's no free money. There's strings that come with everything. And so while I know they always look good and it's a great way for us to do more in the community, the question I want the board to think about is, do you know what you're signing us up for? Do we know what sort of regulations we're committing ourselves to? On the first page of the resolution, down at the bottom on the last paragraph, it says, in the middle, it says, agrees to comply with the federal and state statutes, regulations, executive orders, Section 5333B warranty, and all administrative requirements related to the applications made to and grants received from the Federal Transit Administration, as well as the provisions of Section 1001 of Title 18 USC. And my point is, every time we accept grants like this, especially that are coming through federal money in some way, form, or fashion, we're essentially ceding local sovereignty to the federal government. We did this with the federal health grants, the COVID money that came over the last couple of years, where those documents said that HHS actually could tell us here at the local level what we can and can't do. And so I guess that's the question here is, with this grant specifically and with any future grant, do we know exactly what it is that what authority we're giving up with this? In fact, for those who may not know, the Biden administration, if you can believe this, is still suing in court to try to get masks reinstated on airplanes. Now, if that isn't the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard at this point, but that's potentially who we're giving our local authority to. So I just want to give you that food for thought. Maybe you guys know all about this, and maybe we've already made those decisions before, but that's just something I think that is pertinent here and any potential grants that come up in the future for any other departments. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else, either for or against? All right, at this time, I will declare the public hearing closed. What's the pleasure of the board?
Do we know any information that's going on that we are signing away for?
I don't.
Go ahead, Frankie.
I mean, basically what we're just requesting is monies for 2 vehicles. I mean, if we don't do this, then the vehicles that we have will eventually fall in disrepair. We put a lot of miles on the vehicles each year, and we just wouldn't be granted the money. This is pretty standard across all the transportation systems throughout the state of North Carolina. Transportation program's been in effect probably in North Carolina close to 40 years. This is just a requirement from, and it gives people an opportunity to speak and to have opinions, but if we don't approve this, will we be okay next year, the year after? Sure. But eventually vehicles are going to fall in disrepair. We're not going to have vehicles. And then you'll be tasked with answering questions because daily, and you missed my presentation. I did the department presentation back in September, but we carry on any given day, if you just take our dialysis patients. I know your business is near the dialysis center, you probably see those vehicles circling in and out all day long. We just wouldn't be able to take people to medical appointments.
We were just wondering if there's any federal restrictions or guidelines that they are tying to us or to the county.
Oh, I mean, I have to meet all kinds of guidelines, and I'd be certainly welcome anytime any of you want to come into my office and we can sit and talk for hours about it. I mean, there's a lot of guidelines that go along with any grant money. A lot of reporting issues. I mean, there's a lot of things. And Andy, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, there's a lot of auditing, there's a lot of.
Lots of auditing.
But it's nothing inconsistent with all the other federal money. I mean, if you look at our budget, there's a huge amount of federal and state money in our budget, whether it's the health department, social services, SCUSA, a lot of our human service agencies, senior services, huge amount of federal money. And a lot of times it funnels through the state. In this case, same here, where it goes through the state's Department of Transportation, but it's all federal money. I mean, if you look at the intergovernmental revenue in our budget, it's a significant portion. It's probably 15 or 20% of our total budget. That's all federal money and state money. Majority of federal money that's flowing through the state, and then so all of that has different things associated with it. But it's nothing inconsistent with what we've been doing for decades. In terms of local government. So unless folks have issues with what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, it really isn't anything. There's nothing else that's new that we're having to do.
One thing I will add in relation to that is I just finished a it's a every 3-year audit. It was about 165 pages of stuff, and it dealt with financials. It dealt with I had to deal with Toby with a lot of our financial stuff. I mean, it covered all aspects of everything. I'm waiting on approval for it. I had a few things that I had to touch up, but other than that, we were very compliant. We're in good shape with the audit. It was very minimal things, like 5 items, but we were in really good shape. And that's a credit to the county overall, not just SCUSA, but the county is that well run. And I credit Andy and all the staff members at the county here. It's very well run, so I feel confident in that.
Voluntary, it says voluntary, Title VI, public involvement. Do the passengers that ride the bus have to fill these papers out?
That's for the staff members of SCUSA. Now, the Title VI thing that you're talking about, I just had to retouch that up too. It's about a 45-page document, and I just got approval from the Office of Civil Rights for that. I'm going to send that through your next meeting to you to get approval by you guys. So, but no, the passengers do not have to fill that out. I have to post it on the vehicle.
There's where it says the DOT collects information on race, color, national origin, gender of the attendees to the public meetings to ensure inclusion of all segments of the population impacted. The DOT wishes to clarify this information gathering process is completely voluntary and that you are not required to disclose the statistical data requested, but all forms will be held on file. So that kind of raised a red flag to me.
Any more questions?
Can I make a comment?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say that I'm working in healthcare, and I call on the DaVita Dialysis Center. I see that SCUSA transportation coming in and out all the time, and that is one service that I'm very grateful that we have, because we have a very large marginalized population that need that. And I do believe that if there were stipulations, riding the bus, and that people have a choice whether to use that or to find a private
method
way to and from where they need to be. So I'm going to support this.
Any more questions?
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes,
in taking this action this evening, you still have to approve the budget in June. And so if for whatever reason, come June, you didn't feel like you had the funding to match the 10% that was required here, there's nothing that's holding your hand to this. This is part of DOT's planning, so they have the ability to know what each transportation agency across the state, and it's not counties, and I say transportation agencies because a lot of these are multi-county transportation agencies, gives them planning so they can go negotiate contracts for and leverage purchasing power for the vans that they may be able to purchase. So doing this evening is one step, but the second step is actually appropriating the funding for the match.
Thanks, sir. Anything else, Commissioner?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. Commissioner Lawhon?
Commissioner Crump says she's going to support this, and I guess the question I have is are you making a motion?
I can. I move approval of, I'm rusty. I move approval of the 10% local match. Approval of the resolution to apply for and receive fiscal year 2024 Community Transportation Program capital funds for the Transportation Department.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second, Commissioner Lawhon. Any more discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the questions.
Next item is the Public Safety Data System Contract/Bid Award. Presented as Chad Coble, IT Director, Kyle Griffin, Emergency Communications Director. Chad, we get to see you again?
Yeah.
Correct. We should have filmed what we were doing in the Josh Morton Jr. room earlier. We're actually going away from these big notebooks that we get and going to iPads. I'll just leave it at that.
Good evening, Commissioners. We appreciate y'all's time tonight. During your October 17th board meeting, we presented some information on the public safety data system replacement. We were authorized at that point to begin contract negotiations with Hexagon, which was our selected vendor. This system includes the 911 computer-aided dispatch system, the jail management system, and the police records management system for countywide agencies. Staff has completed the negotiations with Hexagon, and we are here tonight to seek your approval in awarding the bid to Hexagon Safety and Infrastructure. The final contract price with Hexagon is $2,495,730.31, which is slightly less than the original price that we presented to y'all.
How would you say that again? 2.49?
2.495 and some change. The county, however, will need to upgrade several pieces of equipment to accommodate the new system, hardware, and software requirements. A significant portion of this cost would have been incurred regardless of any vendor that we selected. You will notice tonight that the budget amendments before you are in the amount of $2,845,732. The difference in this and the contract amount is due to the ancillary costs that I just mentioned, which Chad can explain more of. Staff has recently submitted a grant to the North Carolina 911 Board in the amount of $1.6 million. If awarded in full or partial, these proceeds would go to offset the contract price. Of the presented cost, $507,445.71 is considered an eligible expense through the North Carolina 911 Board. So we can use current surcharge fund balance to pay for those expenses out of that contract. We do have a fund balance north of $100,000, which will go to that, and the remaining difference there, we can submit a funding reconsideration to the state to see if they will fund the remaining portion of that. Tonight, we are requesting that you consider approving staff to execute the primary contracting document with the selected vendor Hexagon, approve the attached reimbursement resolution for the project, approve the attached budget amendments, and consider and approve the capital project ordinance. And we will be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have any questions at this time, but I can tell you I spent at least 40 minutes on the telephone with these two gentlemen and our attorney, and they answered lots of questions that I had about the term, the payment, just all kinds of things. And one thing that allows me to have faith is that these gentlemen, plus the 911 associates and the sheriff's department and all the other public safety, like this system. It costs more, but when you buy a vehicle that's a Lexus, it's going to cost you more than it would if it's a Volkswagen. And I think they're buying a Lexus, which will last, hopefully, for a good amount of time. So I don't have any questions. I've asked a bunch earlier today, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Any more questions for Chad or Kyle?
I don't have a question. Mr. Griffin, I appreciate the time that you gave Brandon King and I over the summer to really explain your pain points with this. And I was here for the presentation as well. And I know that one of your biggest concerns is the security and
Correct.
Making sure that our system is secure. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
The grant y'all mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
what's our chances of receiving that?
It's hard to say with the 911 board. The term they like to use, it's a moving target. This is the second application they've opened for the year, so I'm hoping there's 5 priorities for the grant. We're a priority 3. The other 2 priorities that are higher are the consolidation of multiple 911 centers into one, which we wouldn't qualify for unless we consolidate with another county. And the other one, we're at a replacement level, so we're at a level 3. So there was 8 other counties that were in the same boat as we were the last time. and I imagine we've all resubmitted this time.
Thanks, sir. Any more questions?
I have one question.
Sure.
Will everything from the RMS, JMS system transfer over to the Hexagon system?
So they do have an option to do a complete data migration. That is expensive and the fidelity isn't quite there. And that's not just with Hexagon, that would be with any vendor that we selected, just because fields don't exactly map over from one database to another perfectly. And sometimes there has to be some interpretation or tweaking to get that data to go over. What we elected to do is what's called a look back. The new system will actually access the data files of our old system on the fly or on demand, so that they can pull those records, or let's say Kyle needs to pull calls up, or the Sheriff's Office folks need to pull up records out of their system. They will have the ability to do that. Now, we are also going to sort of archive that old system over so that if need be, they can access that, the old system, and we'll keep that just kind of there just as a just in case.
Anything else? What's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion to approve.
Jenny, does he need to go down through the list?
Yes,
Four items.
Yes, please.
Down at the bottom, Brandon, there at the request.
You may want them all in one motion, Commissioner King. but
Okay.
I don't mind addressing each one of those four things.
So I make a motion to authorize the staff to execute the primary contracting document with selected vendor Hexagon. Consider and approve the attached reimbursement resolution for the project. Consider and approve the attached budget amendments for the project, and consider and approve the capital project ordinance.
Thank you, sir. Got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Crump. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you.
Thank
very
y'all.
much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
When do you guys see this system in operation?
The current project milestone schedule is 242 days, I think. 0.8. It will likely be a little bit longer than that. Just, I'm sure contingencies and things like that will come up, delays will come up, especially with the supply chain issues that we have right now. But that is what it is slated for, is 242 days. A prime project kickoff.
So a little bit longer than it took us to learn our iPads, right?
Yeah, it's just slightly more complicated than those iPads.
Thank you, guys. I certainly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, number 4, department presentation, economic development. Candace Louder, Economic Development Director. Welcome, Ms. Louder.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. Congratulations to all of you. If you'll bear with me just a minute, I'll get the presentation pulled up. All right. I appreciate the opportunity to come before you this evening to give you a high-level overview of economic development in Stanley County. Appreciate the time some of you have spent and effort to reach out to my office and get to know what we do, and I look forward to working with all of you moving forward. I am Candace Louder. I'm your EDC Director. I've been in this seat for almost 4 years now. I moved departments in February of 2019, and I'm working on my 16th year with the county. I've been over 3 different departments, so had a lot of growth in county government, and appreciate the leadership of Andy and all the elected officials that we've worked with through the years. Who are we? What do we do? So Stanley County Economic Development, we are a department of county government. So some EDOs are nonprofits, some are public-private partnerships, and some are departments of local government, and that's how we function. So our governing board are you. Yeah, you make decisions for us. We do not make policy decisions. We do not set a fee schedule or collect any revenues on our own. Everything is worked through our county policies, procurement policies. The advisory board is a volunteer board. We have had a lot of interest in individuals in the community who wanted to learn more about how they can serve on this board. So I wanted to give, for your benefit and for the citizens that may be listening, how do we serve on the EDC board? We have a voting group of 13 members. There are 2 representatives from each voting district. They are appointed by the governing board in staggering 2-year terms. And we have 2 representatives, as you know, from the county commissioners, and the president of Stanley Community College is also a voting member. The way citizens can go about getting involved is you would express interest through a volunteer application on the Stanley County website, that's stanleycountync.gov. And then you'd express your interest as well as any other volunteer boards you would be interested in serving on. And when it's time, and we make those, we bring those appointments to this board in May. Tyler, the clerk, packages all the applications from interested individuals and put before this board for consideration. We encourage participation from all over the county. There is no, we have some longstanding board members, but every 2 years they are reappointed. So, and there are representatives from each district that are appointed every year. So you always have the opportunity to participate. What do we do? That's quite literally the $1 million question. This is a busy slide, but that's done intentionally because we do a little bit of everything. A lot of our work is behind the scenes. The lion's share of the work that our office does is seen by our elected officials, our advisory board, and certainly the staff members and partners that help us with our program of work. We are a small shop where there's 2 staff members, and we have a lot of things that we are involved in. We are interested in product development. We work with property owners to get their buildings and sites in front of projects. We work with workforce development. We work with the school system and private schools on attainment. We collaborate with the community college and Pfeiffer University to improve credential and attainment after high school. Certainly, we are interested in quality of life. You know, the rising tide raises all ships, right? So just this year, I just received the average wages for Stanley County. And in 2020, well, we received it last year, but prior year, the average wage in the county was $37,466. It's increased by $4,000 just in 1 year. So, you know, COVID could potentially be to blame as the workforce was stressed and wages ticked up. Cost of living certainly ticked up, but we watch all those things so we can package a presentation to prospects to demonstrate that Stanley County is a really great place to do business. And we do that by rolling all of these touch points into presentations. So we work on recruiting. Retention is a priority for me personally, and I believe our board. Most of our announcements are expansions. You know, companies can start small and grow because they have the supports they need to grow here in Stanley County, and we want to keep them here. So retention is a priority. They don't have to stay here. It is their choice where they do business, and we hope that they will continue to want to do business here in Stanley County. Grants, we talked a little bit about that in this meeting. We certainly do work with companies to leverage any grants that might be available to them, but there are always requirements, and usually those come by way of investment and job creation benchmarks that the company has to meet before they can leverage any of those grants. And we work with them to understand what their opportunities are and to be sure that they perform at the level that they need to in order to get the grants. A lot of times we are an advisory service. People that don't know anything about Stanley County, you know, they might call the chamber, they're in our office, they may call the tourism authority. But the business community, by and large, if they're experienced and have established operations, they understand economic development, and they understand that we are brokers of relationships and conversations and connections in the community. We help companies with infrastructure questions. We help companies with real estate, workforce, training, tax questions. We can put them in touch with the Chamber of Commerce if there are professional services that they need locally. So we're a little bit of a clearinghouse for information and collaboration for anyone wanting to do business here, small and large. We don't focus exclusively on large businesses. I think that's one thing that, one perception that some people may have, but that's because a lot of what we do in the public forum is very large projects, but we do provide a lot of supports for small businesses. It's a big program of work. We could not do it without our partners. If you attend any economic development event, you will hear that economic development is a team sport. It takes every one of us, elected officials, citizens, the school system, businesses, utilities, transportation, outside entities that provide the supports that we need, not just by way of grants, but on technical expertise. And we all work together. You know, for every project that we do, utilities, transportation, elected officials, workforce is a key decision driver frequently. We have to have the workers that are trained in the skill sets that the employers need in order to run their business. So we try to stay dialed into what those needs are and match make projects and companies with the needs with the organizations and service providers that they need in order to make their project come to fruition and hopefully grow their business and stay here for a very long time. I'm personally very proud of this map. It's a little busy, but it's an important visual to understand and demonstrate how the work that we do impacts all areas of the county. So the announcements we've had, and these are in 21 and 2022, industrial products, conveyors, and drives was our most recent announcement in June. But you can see they're all over the county. There's investments, and these are high-quality jobs. And what we mean by high-quality jobs is jobs that pay at or above our average county wage and provide at least 50% of a health insurance benefit. Those are high-quality jobs, and in order to receive any kind of public support, either locally or at the state level, these projects have to commit to providing a high-quality wage and benefit package for their employees. American Racing Headers at our Riverstone Industrial Park, they broke ground in July. We're very excited to see that construction project underway, and we hope there's more to come. In fact, we know there's more to come. Happy to talk with you all individually or here, but we do try to identify sites throughout the county that would work because every project has different needs. And not every project wants to be in a population center. Not every project wants or needs to be along a major highway. So understanding what the needs are and understanding our product, not just the real estate product, but the workforce and the quality of life, that's all product to us. Understanding what our product is and being able to message that to people that don't know anything about our community. That's essentially what we do every single day. We do have opportunities to connect with citizens. Our attorney will tell us that our social media sites are non-public forums, so we don't interact much, but we do use it as a way to broadcast the good work that's going on in Stanley County. Stanley County EDC has a Facebook page, Twitter page, LinkedIn. We have an email list if you'd like to sign up, and this is mainly for the citizens. You all are already signed up. We took care of that after the election. But you will receive email updates when we have exciting announcements, and we just ask everyone to share the good news. Economic development has changed a lot. There's a lot of desktop review that occurs well before we even know that a prospect's looking here. And the messaging that the community puts out on the internet is really important. And that's where economic development's everyone's responsibility, because when that site selector in Germany, California, Florida, South Africa, wherever they may be, when they type in Stanley County education, Stanley County economic development, Stanley County companies, we want that messaging to be positive and really face outward that we really are a great community to live and do business in. So I'm happy to take any questions you may have. That was a very high-level overview of what we do. I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, Ms. Louder. Any questions for Ms. Louder? Thank you very much. We certainly appreciate what you do.
Sure.
Next item on the agenda is the holiday schedule. Do I have to approve that again since we already approved it one time? Okay. I didn't want to go back.
You don't have to do it for a third time.
Next, item number 6, reaffirmation of Code of Ethics, and our presenter is Andy Lucas.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This is per General Statute 160A86. You just have to reaffirm your Code of Ethics each year. This was originally passed, I believe, in 2010 or 2012. Get my notes, 2010. And so it's been reaffirmed each year by this board per General Statute. And the new elected officials will get your 2-hour block of ethics training at Essentials of County Government. And then those commissioners that were reelected for a second term, you have a year to get that 2-hour block, and we can get it and you can watch it here. We can order it. Tyler can coordinate to get that ordered, and we can set you up in a conference room, and you can buy the webinar and watch it. So we'll get that. You got 12 months to get it, those that have been reelected. So anyway, so you have that before you this evening. If there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
All right, any questions regarding the Code of Ethics? All right, what's the pleasure of the board? Have a motion, do I have a second? Second by Commissioner King. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And Tyler, we will need to sign this, correct?
Yes, I've got it.
Okay. Thank you. Next item is the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Motion, Commissioner Lawhon. Second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Attlee. It'll take me a minute to figure out where everybody's at, but any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is board comments, announcements, and committee reports. I know you guys don't have any committee reports, but it starts tomorrow. There's a few committees tomorrow night, so anyway, we'll start with Commissioner King.
Thank you, Chairman. Just appreciate everybody coming out tonight and being a part of this, and we look forward to serving with the board here. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Crump.
I too want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and appreciate so much support since over the last year. Campaigning has been pretty wild, and since the primary, I've tried to spend as much time as I could digging in and researching and learning and trying to meet some heads of departments, and I still have a long way to go and a lot of names and people and faces to put together, but you have my commitment to doing my research and to doing what is best for Stanley County in the interest of, my constituents. So I thank everyone for your vote and your confidence. And Mr. Phibbs, thank you for your comment. As always, I appreciate you always digging in, and anytime you want to give any kind of guidance. I've looked to you for the last year for a lot of guidance, and I think we all need to be more involved. I also want to address Levi Green's public comments. I know he's not there anymore, but Mr. Green will definitely look into this, and I would like for him to send us what he has so we can follow up on that.
Commissioner Hatley.
I also want to thank Jason for his comments and just challenge people to get involved and help us. And Jason's one of them guys that does a lot of research, and would like to hear from others. Thank y'all.
Thanks, sir. Commissioner Lawhon.
I'm going to give everybody an update on new home permits. With the economy the way it is, with interest rates going up, I know it's probably going to slow things down. But so far in the month of November, we issued 58 new home permits, which is 3 more. It's a decrease of 3 from the previous year, so it's slowing down a little bit. But from January through November, new home permits total 645, which is 142 increase over the previous year. Curious to watch this. Interest rates are now above 7%. Got to slow it some. I think home sales are still pretty good, but I don't think there's lines of potential customers like they had been in the past. We don't want it to die, but it appears that there may be some slowing in home building in Stanley County. Small amount. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Chairman Barbie.
I'd like to thank the public for their support for another 4 years and supporting my fellow commissioners and seeing me the vice chair. I'll do my best to look after everybody, and they call me the tightwad for a reason, I guess. But I want to make sure that the public's money is spent properly and that we don't waste anything and we use it wisely. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. I certainly appreciate everyone being here today. Commissioners, I look forward to working with you next year. We have some opportunities I think that we can really move forward on. If you hadn't had the opportunity out in the commons there, the hospice of tree, the festival of trees from hospice is going on. There's probably 40 trees out there. It's been decorated by different companies or in honor or memory of someone. You can go out and vote for the winner. They will be here in the commons till the 31st, so I encourage everyone to go out there. Our next meeting will be January the 3rd. So I would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. 2022 has been a good year for the most part. I love this country. I love this county. And of any place I think I'd rather be, it would be right here. Again, Commissioners, thank you so much for what you do, your time, your efforts, and I certainly appreciate it. At this time, we need to go into a closed session to discuss the economic development issue in accordance with General Statute 143-318-11A4. We will retire to the Josh Morton Jr. Conference Room, and we should be back in here in a few minutes to adjourn. Thank y'all. All right, we got a motion on the floor and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.